And now, the Android Basics segment. This is a segment where we discuss the things that power your device from behind the scenes. And now, here's this week's episode, Android Basics. Let's now move on to the Android Basics segment. And John, today we're talking about the great Gemini stuff. Google pushed out a lot of stuff. Alongside with that, also a little changes in the software as well. So, which is very important because if we don't have the hardware right now, the software implementation that works with some of our existing devices is a good thing. John, you want to talk about some of those things? I know you've started using some. I've started using some. Some are still not available, or some have bugs in them. Let's talk about that great stuff.
Yeah, so they announced Google Home Premium, which is powered by Gemini. It goes along with their service they already have. It's going to bring, eventually, it hasn't yet, but it's going to bring early access is supposed to start at the end of October, and then they say it should be out by next year to everyone, but they're going to be bringing Gemini to all of Google Home's devices like speakers and displays. Now, if you want Gemini Live, where you can have a conversation, you're going to need specific hardware, some of the newer devices. And of course, they're also going to be releasing a new Google Home speaker next year. I'm not sure what they're calling it this time around. Probably won't have Nest in the name because they seem to be wanting to get away from Nest. But they also announced some cameras as well, didn't they, Warren? Do you remember what cameras they announced?
Yeah, they got, I think they have new outdoor, outdoor cameras. They got new ones as well. Like the door, what do you call it? A Nest door, whatever name it has. They have new ones. I think they have, yeah. Do they have like 2 or 4 of those? I'm probably getting them confused with Amazon. But yeah, so Nest Aware is gone. And like you indicated, for me, who never subscribed to it now because I have the Pixel 10 or whatever, or because I have Gemini Premium as a result of the Pixel 10, I now have those features at least for a year. And so I'm seeing stuff on my Nest or on my home that I didn't have access to before. I have a longer, time to see who was there at the door. And John, yours even sound better than what I have.
Really? So it might be because I updated my plan. So I'll try to explain what's happened here. If you had Nest Aware before, there were 2 plans, Nest Aware and Nest Aware Plus. One was $10 a month, one was $20 a month. One gave you basic event history and that type of thing. The other gave you like longer, I think it gave you like twice the event history, so like 60 days of event history and 24/7 recording. It actually saved 24/7 footage for, I think, 2 weeks or something. So those plans are now being renamed to Google Home Premium Standard and Google Home Premium Advanced.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the standard is going to include everything it did include before, but also Gemini. So you'll have Gemini on your speakers. And then if you want the more advanced camera stuff, you'll have to upgrade to the premium version, or they're both called premium, the advanced. So it'll be called Google Home Premium Advanced, which would be an extra $10. And like you mentioned, if you have Gemini Pro already, then you're covered as far as the standard plan. So if you're happy with that, then you'll get it. And if you want to pay an additional $10 a month, then you'll get the more advanced camera features on top of that. So I was in the same situation as you. Well, actually, I was already paying for Nest Aware, $10 a month. So for me, no, I've switched to paying for the upgrade to $10 a month. So it's still costing me the same as it was because I had the like you, it came with my Pixel a year of Gemini Pro for free. So yeah, nothing's changed as far as like what's coming out of my bank account every month, but I've got a lot more features now.
Yeah, because with this implementation, I can now, recognize faces. Before now, because I wasn't subscribed to the Nest Aware, I couldn't recognize faces because that was a paid feature. It was behind that paywall. And now with this implementation, I can now recognize faces and know who is coming to the door if they're in my database. So I'm really liking it. It's something great that I'm looking forward to, most especially the other feature that would be rolling out over this month and all of that. It'll be a great experience. I think that the more we have in the way of accessibility for those of us who are blind, the better it is, because I want to know who's there at that door. If someone I'm familiar with, someone I'm not familiar with, am I going to answer the door? Maybe not. So.
Yeah, and when the Gemini stuff comes around fully, I hope it's going to work like I want. Like, I hope you can just ask, and I don't see why it won't be like this. I hope you can just ask, has the trash truck picked up the trash can yet? And it'll just tell you, yeah, at this time, the trash truck came and emptied the trash. That type of thing is so helpful because it's already,
it's there.
I think, it's already starting to describe events, because whereas before it would just say motion or familiar face or package left, like that was about as specific as it got. But now it's telling me, like last night we had a pizza delivered. It said pizza delivered. It said package. This morning it said package left. When we went out to the car to leave for the baseball game, I got an alert that said people walking down the path away from the door. So even the actual notifications that you get are more specific. So when we're able to ask specific questions and get the answers, I mean, that's going to be a game changer, because it already has a feature where it'll like summarize the day. Now, I had just enabled these features last night, so it was a short summary, but it told me, at this time the pizza was delivered, and then we have a camera in Jack's room, so the funny thing is it said, and then 1 minute later Jack left his room because he's coming to get the pizza. It told when the FedEx truck drove by. It told when there was a dog being walked behind our house. Like, it just, everything that it thinks would be important to you, it lets you know in a summary. So that's pretty cool.
I like it. And John, where do people go to enable some of these? We're talking about the Google Home app, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, so I'm not a fan of the Google Home app. I haven't used it for cameras before. Do you use Google Home or do you use Nest for your cameras?
I use the Google Home app. Okay. I mean, now and then I use the Nest, but I'm kind of, mostly using the Google Home app instead, because I know that Nest is something that is a fading sun, and so
I was hanging on to it as long as I could, but now, if I'm going to be getting all these features, I have to transfer them. So I transferred them all to the Google Home app, which means my Nest app isn't working, and I'm not a huge fan of the interface. Hopefully it'll get better, but yeah, you need to go in the Google Home app. When you go into the settings for each camera, it'll let you transfer it if you haven't transferred it already. You can see the feed in the Google Home app if you have it set up with Nest, but in order to like have all the events and everything in the Home app, you need to transfer the camera over. So once you've done that, then you can just you can go into settings for the app and go to your subscriptions, and that's where you can either sign up for this or make sure you've converted it over, because I did have to. So, well, let me put it this way. If you have Nest Aware, it'll automatically switch you over. But if you have Nest Aware and you have Gemini Pro, then you're going to want to go into the app and go into the subscription, and it's pretty straightforward. It'll walk you through converting to the new subscription so that you don't have to pay that $10 a month anymore. Because if you do have both and you're paying for Nest Aware, they will let you keep paying for Nest Aware or what they're calling Google Home premium now. So
those are thieves.
Yeah. So if you do have both, make sure you go into the settings and consolidate that.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to be charging you twice for something you shouldn't be paying for. So that makes sense. Make sure you do that, guys, so you don't get double dipped.